Hi guys, this is the Ace Perspective giving you an update on what is happening or not happening in early years or for early years. Now, if you look at my screen, or not the back of the screen, my screen, you'll see a headline: schools, nurseries and colleges testing. All that basically refers to is that the government a few weeks ago came out and said that nurseries will now be provided with lateral flow home test kits so that we can now test whether or not our staff has COVID. Now, that announcement was made by Boris when he was basically giving us how lockdown will end, the timetable. And they were very pleased to announce this, that they're now remembering early years. And I think they all went and stroked each other's backs and pat each other on the head, said, well done, we've now included early years. Now, I'll quote a saying from my dear mum. She's still with us. She always used to say to me when things got confusing, she used to say to me, pick sense out of nonsense. Now, I've read what the government proposed to do and are doing. And till this day, I cannot pick any sense out of that nonsense. Now, let me give you my perspective. Last week, Thursday, what landed on my desk was a COVID rapid antigen test. I don't know if you can see it. Now, this arrived, I think it was 10 boxes that arrived. And with instructions, it said, hang on to the boxes, do not give out until the 22nd of March, which is next Monday. I thought, oh, okay. I opened one of the boxes just to see roughly what it said. And it said, only use when you have no symptoms. Because if you have symptoms, you should basically self-isolate or get a COVID test. Now, to the untrained eye, or to somebody who doesn't understand early years, you think, oh, that's great. They're protecting early year staff. Now, let me give you this scenario. If I broke my leg, or if I could potentially break my leg, would it be a good thing to turn around and say to me, keep doing what you're doing, and if you hurt yourself, you can test if your leg's broken with an x-ray? Because that's essentially what they've done by sending us the test kit. They insisted since January that early years was so vital they had to stay open for everyone, not just key workers. So all staff working in early years were at risk. Instead of sending us stupid testing kits, which is obviously costing the government money and making all the politicians' friends some money, they should have just given us the vaccine. Because I really don't see the point of having me come to work and my staff come to work to catch COVID, for me to do the government statistics to find out how many of us has actually caught COVID. How on earth is a COVID test going to keep us safe? That COVID test says you can only take when you have no symptoms. So therefore, I can have a member of staff at work on the Tuesday, go home, take the test to see if they can come in on Wednesday. The test turns up positive. They then have to stay at home. I then have to notify people to get tested for the nursery to then close down on the basis of a test, which is after the event. Again, I don't understand the point. They intend to send this test out every so often. They've sent packs of it for me to distribute. By the way, this is a voluntary thing. So for nurseries out there who are curious, you do not have to actually use the rapid antigen test. It's voluntary. And lots of it is for you to do their statistical work. Report how many people in early years have COVID, which we were saying from the very beginning is quite high. I really don't understand. It must be cheaper to give us the vaccine than to send these kits out on a regular basis. And remember, they're only sending these kits out because they're sending them out to the school and they have too many. Clearly, they ordered too many. They don't know what to do with it. And they thought, oh, let's include early years and let's send them some. Because if you're sending me a kit to keep me safe, why are you telling me don't use it till the 22nd of March? They sent this last Thursday. Why are they saying COVID doesn't work until the 22nd of March? Now, let me tell you something even more interesting. Today, what arrived through the door, the letterbox? PPE equipment. Ooh. They sent some masks. Now, bear in mind that from January, early years was the only industry in education that were told to stay open to everyone. I keep stressing, not just key workers, children, everyone. Now they're sending out masks on the 16th of March to try and pretend that they're doing this to keep us safe. We are having no more or less children arriving because we were open to everyone. Now, this is where you've got to pick sense out of nonsense. The government insisted that the chances of COVID spreading in nurseries were less. This was the sole reason why they kept nurseries open, other than the fact that we were essential to the start of a young person's life. We were that vital. If that really is the case, why then are they now sending us rapid test kits and PPE equipment? Would you not think that was a waste of money? Now, make of it what you will. I, for one, will be telling all my staff, if you want to take it, take the test, and if you don't, you don't. My argument would be, give us the vaccines like you should have in the first place. We have lots of staff members who are BAME, of an age, vulnerable, who could do with taking the vaccine. They should be given the option to take the vaccine and not trying to give us stuff to, I don't know how to describe it, after the event. It's like closing the door after the horse has bolted. So there you have it. The government have learned nothing over the last 18 months about any processes and dealing with COVID. Scotland closed the nurseries, England didn't. But I find it very insulting that they're now sending us rapid test kits. There you have it, my perspective.